Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to the show where we wax poetic about the movies we see on a month-to-month basis. It's time to crack open our...
Movie
Memoirs! All right, Dragon, let's talk some turkey. It's the November 2025 edition of Movie Memoirs. As always, we're going to start with the news. We have an in memoriam that I definitely think that you should speak on if you want to go ahead and start with that.
Right. All right, so we lost Danny Segrin, I guess. Anyway, lost Danny Segrin. The notable thing about him is that a lot of people may not know him just by name, but I think they'll know him as he was the first man to ever, in live action, ever don the Spider-Man costume. He was the Electric Company Spider-Man. That was him. The Spider-Man who did not speak. The Spider-Man who only used thought balloons and word balloons.
So he is definitely the answer to probably some bar trivia questions out there, I would imagine.
Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, that
Who
was
was
their
the first live-action Spider-Man? No, it wasn't Tobey Maguire. No, it wasn't even that one random Japanese guy.
Yeah, it wasn't the '70s show. Wasn't the Japanese guy. It was the Electric Company Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
And it was Spider-Man did have an educational component. It was like Spider-Man was always big with kids. I'm not saying this was the only reason, but I'm saying this was like the first time you saw him leap from page to your television screen. It was kind of a big deal back then. It was the fact that, oh my God, Spider-Man has just stumbled into this kid's television show. How wonderful! And the other thing too is that he was a Muppeteer. He was Carol Spinney's understudy. He was one of the big birds. Not obviously not the big bird, not the definitive big bird. I just basically, if Carol Spinney was sick for like an engagement or something, it was this guy. He was the prototype for a Matt Vogel, if you will.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't really have a ton to say just because I didn't grow up with the Electric Company, but definitely a big kind of benchmark there for sure as far as pop culture goes. All right. Let's see. We have Theme Park Pre says he just saw Zootopia 2 today. Indeed. We will be breaking that down, of course, when we get to the news. Kogia says, Colby says a month has passed and movies did, in fact, release. Yeah, Colby, honestly, I'm kind of with you. Like this month, for me, I didn't really get around to as much as I wanted to just because of trip preparation. But the stuff that did come out, I thought it was good. We'll get into it. Little Blue says, genuinely, I forgot who all passed away this month. I expect I remember Diane Lane. Diane Lane was last month, Eli. Last month.
Well, no. The Dying Lad also might. If he's
I'm sorry. I'm reading that. Okay, Dragon. So let's see. Let's get the flow chart out. We have Diane Keaton, Diane Lane, and Diane Ladd. Oh God.
Okay, so again, so Diane Lane's still alive.
Yes.
Okay, we'll make that distinction there. Okay, Diane Keaton sadly passed away.
Oh man. Oh dear.
Okay, Diane Weiss still with us.
Oh, I'm terrible. All right. Kogia says, I actually remember the Danny Segrin Spider-Man from the Electric Company, if I'm remembering correctly. Morgan Freeman was in it too.
That's right.
Morgan Freeman being in the Electric Company, I'm not going to lie, that's about the only thing I actually do know about that show.
Well, I know you remember, the main thing you remember about the Electric Company, Tiki, is the Family Guy reference. Remember, we're like, hey, you guys, and we're going to turn it on.
Yeah. Sure. All right, we have Claude in the comments. He's saying, I saw Wicked for Good and Zootopia 2 on the screen. Cool. Anyways, Dragon, let's get into some more news. The only real news item we have is we got a Miss Piggy movie, Dragon. You want to tell them about the Miss Piggy movie?
Oh yeah, well it's unclear. Well, here's what we know. So Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone, they're kind of like leading the charge on this Miss Piggy movie, believe it or not. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to be in it with her. I mean, they are actresses. I imagine they would at least get a cameo. But the point being, they are they're developing it along with some Tony Award winner. I don't know if she put on. Do you know anything about Cole Escola?
Not off the top of my head, but if it's a Broadway person, then
Yeah.
Monkey would know a lot more than I would.
Yeah, I think she was in a play called Oh Mary or something. So the point being, she's sounds like she's doing the writing on it. Sounds like I want to say Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are producing this Miss Piggy movie, and they have this Tony Award winner doing the screenplay for it. So that feels kind of like a right choice for Miss Piggy. But by the same token, though, I am the Muppets need to be funny. You need comedy, and I just really hope there's only. I think we have like a parody of Miss Piggy kind of nailed in the sense of Miss Piggy is she sees herself as a Tony winner and as a starlet and obviously as a movie star. So I think we have that base covered. But I mean, I don't know what her comedy chops are on this, so that I'm a little worried about. But because Miss Piggy usually plays off people, so that's what we're really going to need. Like Miss Piggy, it's going to be a question of like how much can Miss Piggy's star power actually take us in a movie centered
like,
around
is this
her.
going to be one of those things where it's just going to be Miss Piggy and like the other Muppets just aren't necessarily involved per se?
Yeah,
that's the question.
So I mean, look, hearing anything but the Muppets always is like that's something we need more of, because again, we're not doing enough with the Muppets. But I just really hope yet again it'll be a thing where we're actually going to do something with the Muppets instead of just we're hitting our quota of like Disney's like, well, we have the Muppets, just let them do something with the Muppets. I don't care, just something.
And that's the thing. I mean, you kind of hit it right on the head. I feel like a Miss Piggy movie, like if they really put a lot of effort into it, if they put as much heart into it as the James Bobbin Muppet movies, we could have something really special. And honestly, out of all the Muppets, let's face this, I think Miss Piggy absolutely is one of the Muppets that can very much hold her own as far as like having a movie devoted to her specifically. But it's just one of those things. I think my main worry is just like Disney doesn't have that hot of a track record as of late. So, is it actually going to be,
But I gotta be honest, Tiki, this is sounding less Disney. This is sounding more like, again, like the beginnings of the Muppets period. With the Muppets, the James Bobbin Muppets. Well, Jason.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's a high benchmark.
Well, I think Jason Segel, Segel, he was a Muppet fan. He led the charge on that, and this is like celebrity. We have Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone. Emma Stone, of course, I have more faith in, but they seem to be really, assuming it's maybe coming from the same spirit of it. Like they're bringing this, and they have to go by Disney to make this happen. That's kind of the take I have on, which gives me hope. It's not just because Disney clearly does not really know what to do with the Muppets. This hopefully, I've never heard anything about Emma Stone being a Muppet fan. I don't know. She says she has good taste usually. I would like to think that maybe she likes the Muppets and is going to do right by him. But that's a guess. Jennifer Lawrence, I have the sense she's just kind of there for the ride, but I don't know.
Come on, Jenny Lawrence.
Yeah. So,
Jennifer Lawrence was actually in a movie I saw this month that I really liked her in, but we'll get there.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and move on to some trailers. So we have a really quick, kind of like minute-long Toy Story 5 trailer. Dragon, I didn't hate this at all. I think my main thing is, honestly, I think this would have worked a lot better, and I really wouldn't have had any issue with it at all. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I know exactly. I have the same feeling.
If we didn't see Woody.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I had some. We're close. I had something a little bit more.
Okay.
What do you got? Mine's a little simpler. To be honestly, the problem I have, only one singular problem with this teaser. It's just this was good, but in the age of the internet and D23, just the surprise was gone. Of like, if this was the first thing we were hearing of it, they just dropped this as the announcement of Toy Story 5. That would have been gangbusters. And then you're right, then we would have hit the thing you're bringing up. If you saw Woody right out the gate, but again, it's like the cat's out of the bag on that, so they kind of have to throw that in there just to establish. Okay, yes,
yeah, no, but again, I don't know, man. I for me, I kind of feel like I would have respected it more if they just kept Woody out of the teaser. I mean.
Yeah, but
I know
that's
that
the
was
thing.
like
Like
probably like unrealistic expectations on my end, but that's how I'm feeling about
it's
it.
kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't, because they already went over. We saw Woody in the console. We knew he was going to be back. It would be like, okay, well, obviously he's going to be in the movie at this
I mean, are
point.
they just going to retcon it though? Is he just going to be
I
with them from the start? That's the question.
I
Right?
don't think that's I look. I really think it's going to be a thing where the situation will bring Woody in, or like he'll like
I mean, I
Woody.
would hope so.
Like Woody does have the ability to roam now, so in theory, I don't know if they get a message to him or not, but in theory, Woody could happen upon them and just join in the adventure. It's possible, but I
Uh
don't
huh.
know. I actually rewatched Toy Story today.
The original.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's pretty much in line with like some of the other like Toy Story teaser trailers that we've gotten. I don't think it looks bad at all. I just think for me, again, I mean, maybe it's like asking too much to just not reveal the Woody thing right off the bat. I don't know.
I just wish, like, this was the first thing we saw, and then we had Detour. They showed it at D23 and put it on the internet then.
Yeah.
I think that would have been had a lot more punch to it. I mean, what it is like, well, this is consistent with what we've been told, and it looks cool. I just, the shock is a little diluted, but
Yeah, spoiler culture is a bitch for
as
sure.
I'm saying, if you told me like, had I watched, it's like, oh man, I would have enjoyed this so much more if this was the reveal of like the touch screen is the bad guys. Like,
Because we've
yes,
known about it for literal years.
I know that
Yeah.
is, yep.
All right. It's almost kind of like the Gary the Snake thing in Zootopia too. Like I think he was a really good character, but it's like they hyped him up so much.
I will say this. This is not technically a teaser thing, but they have this like film magazine going around and like a lot of like still images from movies that are coming out next year. And they did have one image from Toy Story 5 that does get me really excited. We saw the army of 50 smart buzzes.
Nice,
And,
nice.
oh man, they look so good. Yes.
All right, so just going back to the comments here, Eli saying apparently Ryan Johnson wants to make a Muppet movie. I mean, honestly, like with the Knives Out, the man knows how to handle a large ensemble.
I would like to see Ryan Johnson take on the Muppets. Great.
I would
Can
not be opposed to it. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, okay? Obviously, the new movie hasn't come out yet, but just in general, assuming there are more films in the Knives Out-y kind of verse,
just a Muppets Knives Out.
But Daniel Craig is the only human.
Oh my god! Oh, soul.
Like, so he's the carryover, but he's gonna be Muppet Mystery, and then Ryan Johnson would direct it. Tell me that would be like the best thing ever.
That would be pretty much the best thing ever. Yes. Claude says, "I wonder who would do the music for the Miss Piggy movie." I mean, honestly, probably like Sabrina Carpenter or something like that.
Maybe
likely Selena Gomez. Yeah.
Selena Gomez actually would be a really cool pick, though, if you think about it. But no,
I could see that. Yeah.
Oh,
we do have the Muppet Show revival next year, indeed.
That's what they say. But it's going to be a special before it's like an actual show. But
right. I'm going to pretend Code Geass is not delivering some slander on our girl Miss Piggy. I'm just going to pretend I don't see that. In terms of money, he says it makes sense to continue Toy Story. However, on an artistic level, I think that there should have just been 2 Toy Story.
I don't understand why he doesn't like Toy Story.
That's been one of his hot takes for sure. I think that's one of his hottest takes, honestly.
I mean, look, if he wants to say the original trilogy, sure, fine. But I mean, it's really just like only 2. You can't give me just like trilogy Code Geass, really.
He says Buzz Lightyear's movie didn't work out too well, so I think Woody needed to come back. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not surprised that Woody's back. I'm just saying, like,
one doesn't have anything to do with the other, though, Code Geass. This is a separate spin-off kind of thing. That's not, And
then Claude saying, are you going to see the new SpongeBob movie? Claude, I'll probably check it out at some point on Paramount. I'm hearing good things about it, so who knows? I mean, you're just never going to top that original, though. Anyways, Hoppers. I don't know, Dragon. Like, for me, it's better than the teaser trailer for sure. I'm still not 100% sold on it. It looks all right. It looks all right. Like, I'm definitely going to see it. I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I'm not jumping up and down about it. Honestly, it looks more Disney Animation Studios than Pixar, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I got I got all the faith in the world in Daniel Chong, man. That's the main thing I'm coming at this one with. I mean, that and the kind of, I can see a bit of his humor and style, just like in the designs of the animals and the humor with the animals, and he has a very modern kind of sense of humor there. I know a lot of people are feeling one way or another about the Avatar comparison, so I don't know if that's going to make it.
I'm glad that they didn't recycle that joke in this trailer. It kind of gives me hope that they maybe cut that joke.
So that's that might have been a teaser. That might have just been a teaser trailer thing. I don't, sometimes that happens in the teaser trailer. They do gags, like Mike and Sully, like the whole that was before they really had things ironed out in that movie, and that was just more with the whole Mongolia thing, like that didn't end up in the movie at all. And it's only one monster going in the room. Not anyway. My point being, well, Daniel Chong, he's given me many hours of entertainment and just made me a super fan of We Bare Bears. I am he's got my. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. I mean, there are elements of it that do intrigue me. The thing that really sold me in this trailer was the animals kind of like on the gag of like the animals rebelling against the humans and just seeing that happen, and just like like the panic, and then we have the POV, the human POV to the animal POV with like.
I did like the moment where we're seeing the the beaver communicating as a human, or communicating like what I'm trying to say.
I know exactly. Yeah, the whole again. So the POV kind of swap there of like what our main character is trying to say, and we see like the blank animal.
Right. That's fun. Yeah, that was probably the bit in the trailer that sold me the most about like, okay, I could see they're cooking with this concept.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing like this plays the Daniel Chong strengths very well, especially with the forestry and just kind of where We Bare Bears kind of comes from. But this is not just with Hopper, this is broadly with Pixar based on stuff they've announced after this coming year. I'm getting a little worried. We're leaning into the safety net of like animal movies. Because we're doing Gato, and I'm sure Gato is going to be cool, but it's just like back to back. It's like with Toy Story notwithstanding, it's like hey, robotic beaver animal movie to cat movie to we just had Zootopia come out. I know it's not a Pixar movie, but you see what I mean. That Disney and Pixar were kind of leaning towards the animal thing, and it's just that was Disney's thing, and now it's kind of slowly sure become Pixar's thing. I'm a little worried about the animal focus there.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Okay, next up. Oh boy, Dragon. Are you fucking stoked for live action Moana? Are you fucking ready for it?
So, Tiki, when you see something like this, that doesn't make you appreciate that How to Train Your Dragon live action remake all the more, doesn't it?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, this honestly looks a lot like the How to Train Your Dragon remake as far as, like, it's basically just the same movie again. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty baffled by it because here's the thing. Like with the How to Train Your Dragon movie, at the very least, one of the things they did, it was very much like a lot of it was plot point by plot point. A lot of it was shot for shot. They changed up some of the cinematography. They changed up some of the dragon designs in particular. They changed up just enough to where it actually looks like it existed in a live action space. Dragon, I am baffled by this because literally it looks like practically the Dragon. You know what this looks like? It basically looks like a PS5 like remake of like a PS3 game. It's like, hey, look, the graphics are better now. It's truly baffling to me, man, because the shots are exactly the same.
Yeah, the live action Moana, it's just kind of the main thing that's going through my mind while I'm watching this reluctantly is when will it end? When? Just we're rushing these out. This is pathetic. Like Moana came out like 2018?
2016. Happy 10-year anniversary.
We sure wait, so Zootopia and Moana came out in the same year then, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not crazy then. All right. Yeah, it's been 9 years. I mean, I think when this comes out, it'll be 10 years, but still, man, like, it's like here's the thing. When you remake a movie like that, it communicates to me lack of confidence in the original that, no, it wasn't good enough in animation. We can't stand by that. Like, no, it has to be.
The original wasn't even good enough to get a real fucking sequel.
That too. That is not honestly. I gotta be honest. It just feels like we're remaking it because the sequel did this. I mean, remind me how did the sequel? You're all into the
It
finances of
did
these movies.
gangbusters, Dragon. It did gangbusters, unfortunately.
Well, you know what that suggests to me? That it suggests to me that hey, okay, Moana. The name recognition.
So, yes, I
Moana.
kind of agree. I'm surprised that they haven't dived into live action. You know that's fucking next, though. You know that's next.
I mean, why can't we just settle on the? We had a really good Frozen sequel in live action.
We've got 2 more Frozen movies coming.
Can't we just like
That's
focus
the
on?
thing. It's like we probably have another Moana movie coming too. It's insane.
So here's the thing. So with Moana, it really feels like okay, they're capitalizing on success. I guess the in quote success of Moana 2, with just the fact that we can't luck into a new movie like we did with Moana 2. So what we're gonna do, we need time to gestate. And in the meantime, let's just remake the first movie again in live action because it worked so well with Lilo and Stitch.
Oh man, I'm so tired, Dragon.
Because the kids love Hawaiians.
You want to know my favorite part of this whole trailer? That they're saving the face reveal of Maui as if seeing The Rock is supposed to be some big fucking reveal.
Well, no, Tiki. The reveal is The Rock with hair. That's the reveal. That's the thing.
Like,
how
dude?
Will it be silly? Will it not be silly?
I'm pretty sure he had hair in the fucking Smashing Machine. Who fucking cares?
I'm just saying that's what it boils down to these days. The Rock, I throw my hands up there with the movies that The Rock will do hair on, and the ones that he will not do hair on. He's become Bruce Willis.
Yeah, exactly, Colby. We did see The Rock with hair this year. It's not special.
I know. It just feels like that's apparently what the big reveal is. We've seen The Rock shirtless and with his tattoos, which essentially means he's basically Maui without like the long giant hair.
Oh my god! Dude.
It's gonna be The Rock carrying a big prop and having a wig on. That's essentially what you're getting with Maui.
Anyway. Claude is saying he's waiting for a live action Princess of the Frog. Why can't we get a Princess of the Frog too? Like, why does it need to be a live action remake? Give us a continuation. I agree it kind of sucks that we canceled the Tiana series, but like actually make a sequel.
It's silly how back and forth they are going on that the whole thing. Hey, we're doing sequels, but then we're not.
Yeah.
We have series that we're turning into movies, and then we're not
sequels. All right, Dragon, you know what we sound like right now? We basically sound like cable news pundits, but with Disney.
I don't know. Regardless, it's just, I guess it just feels like maybe we should focus on making a good Frozen sequel instead of 2, or instead of contemplating live action.
If live action Zootopia comes out, Eli, it's done. It's fucking over. It's washed.
No, over is live action Pixar remakes. Tiki. That's when it's over.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
That's literally the end. That's when Pixar is completely helpless and like we have no control anymore. Disney is doing this without us.
Okay, let's move on. We could talk about this all day. This is like the Disney live action remakes are like my hate special interest.
Remember when they used to try with like that Cinderella movie with Kenneth Branagh?
It was quaint.
It was an attempt. It was a genuine attempt of like, okay, what can we do with the original?
Actually had some style to it. It wasn't a great movie, but it had some style to it.
Okay, let me give you here's one to be funny, but they'd have to get the original actor back for it to be really hilarious, and they'll never do it because it doesn't make sense. Krunk's New Groove. What if we did just not even Emperor's New Groove? Let's just do Krunk's New Groove
with live action Patrick Warburton.
Yes, with Patrick Warburton.
Okay, I've actually worked into my stand-up that if they did a live action, you want to hear my casting for a live action Emperor's New Groove?
Who do you got?
Okay, we have Timothy Chalamet as Cusco.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Aquafina as Yzma, not who I would pick, just who the studio would probably fucking pick. And then returning to the role, a 60-year-old Patrick Warburton as Krunk. Guys, I don't know. I think I'm a little too old for this.
Wait, you're missing one. Who's your Pacha?
I didn't have a Pacha. Rule of threes in comedy, Dragon. Rule of threes. Anyways.
Okay, anyway.
Just fucking throw John Goodman in there again. Why not?
Okay. Okay, so on to more uplifting trailers.
Yeah, guys, we're not going to cover the live action stuff like too much more. Okay, anyways. Super Mario Galaxy. My main issue with this trailer is that we spent way too much time on the tiny Bowser stuff.
Yeah, let me ask you this: do you think it's gonna be tiny through like the large duration of the movie, or just like the opening?
I wouldn't be surprised just because Bowser Jr. looks to be the main villain.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like maybe he might be smaller for a larger duration, which is why
I
we're
think it's a
showing.
wasted opportunity. Like, I like Benny Safdie. I think it's a wasted opportunity to have Bowser Jr. not be a pitched up Jack Black.
Now, let me ask you: with Mario, I mean, did we see Bowser's ex-wife?
No, we've never seen. We don't know anything about that.
Like,
For
that's
all
it,
we
like
know, Peach is implied to be Bowser Jr.'s mother dragon as far as the games go.
real? Really?
That's the strongest implication, yes.
Oh god! I mean, like, does Bowser like? I mean, does he like lay eggs? Like, does he?
Dragon, I don't know.
Anyway,
We've not gotten that explicit with it.
okay. Anyway, so here's a you remember with the Super Mario movie. I really love that movie being just like a novice with the lore of the Nintendo and Mario. I wanted something to kind of sell me on Mario, and I basically kind of got that with the Super Mario movie. Obviously, not the best depiction of Cranky Kong Cranky Kong, right?
Fred Armistead, yeah.
Well, I'm saying the name. I mean, just make sure I'm not like it's
Yes,
Cranky.
Kong, yes.
Good. I just want to make sure.
Right.
So maybe not the best representation there, voice wise, but aside from that, very enjoyable movie. I mean, I'm with Mario in Act One, and I'm with him in the big battle in the third act. And that's kind of what matters to me, and I like that movie. So I'm going in pretty similar to Super Mario Galaxy. I know nothing at all about Super Mario Galaxy. I know there's like other princesses, and I think if
it's
I'm right,
widely regarded to be like the best Mario games.
Yeah, so I mean, the only thing I really know going into this is like there is like another princess because you usually go to other kingdoms and stuff, and this princess is Rosalina.
Rosalina, yes.
Rosalina, who I want to say is Luigi's princess.
No, that would be Daisy.
Daisy. Okay, well then I know nothing about
Rosalina is just her own cool character. She doesn't need to be like a mirror image of a man dragon.
Okay.
Daisy has her own character. She's not just a mirror image of Luigi, but canonically she is Luigi's girlfriend.
Okay, the point being, I knew there was another, kind of Mario-esque princess, and it's basically this character, and we have Brie Larson playing her, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I just hope that they actually adapt a lot of the Galaxy stuff, because it seems to me like this is, like I said, I don't want too much of the screen time to just be like the Bowser, because Bowser Jr. he doesn't factor into Mario Galaxy at all, honestly. So.
I mean, look, just taking it at face value, Tiki, man. I thought the little Bowser thing was kind of a fun because I was wondering if you were just going to throw that out going to the next movie. Like
I was kind of wondering that. I do love that Luigi's got like a pleasant relationship.
I know, I love that.
And Mario's like still bitter about it.
So that's what I'm.
Of course, like give Charlie Day more to do in this movie, please.
Yeah, that is the main. Honestly, Tiki, those are my low expectations, but low not in the sense I expect to be bad. I'm saying I have very little expectations, just very little things I want. Okay, I would like more Luigi. I would let's see, more Luigi. Oh yeah, ideally Yoshi because we set that up and I like Yoshi. Be kind of cool. I don't know if we will, but it would make sense. I mean,
it'd be weird because we did get that whole post-credit scene. Yoshi is a major factor in Super Mario Galaxy 2. So
at some point, I would love to see Wario, and but we gotta probably that's probably a third movie thing, but
Danny DeVito needs to be Wario.
That'd be great.
It's written in the cards.
Let me ask you this: you think Brad Garrett could pull off Wario?
I think he could do it, but I just think Danny DeVito is just too perfect. Like he's right there.
No.
I think Steve Buscemi could be a good Waluigi.
That'd be perfect. He's actually in something. He was actually in something I'm gonna be talking about later.
Same.
Anyway, but yeah, overall, look. I mean, I just want the simple things, man. I just want want more Luigi. I would like maybe some Yoshi, and that's pretty much all I got.
For sure.
But yeah, I'd like
as Waluigi is okay. I could see that.
That would be cool. But yeah, I like the little Bowser Jr. looked kind of cool, and Rosalina doing the cool little things she did.
Bowser Jr. is also the main antagonist of Super Nintendo World, the theme park land.
Oh well, why was Bowser not good enough?
Well, Bowser has his ride, but the actual story of the land is that he's stolen Princess Peach's crown, and you have to go around and do all the games and collect the stars and stuff in order to fight him. So, like, if you're actually playing the game attached to Super Nintendo World, he's the main villain. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Next up, we got Michael. I mean, not much to say. It's basically just a sizzle reel, but it looks damn good. I mean, it looks very authentic.
Yeah, it's looking good. Again, I saw like a little bit in there that made me wonder like if we're gonna handle the pigmentation thing, and I think we are.
I think we are, yeah.
Yeah. I saw him doing like a little touch up, which is a bit that kind of stuck out to me. He's like, okay, that's like, I mean, going as the big question is like, okay, are we going to focus on basically the good years of Michael Jackson? You're going to cover the whole, you know, like the early life and like basically the high point, like the mainly the rise of Michael Jackson, which basically it's because again, originally this was a 2-part movie and that's got seemingly reduced to 1. So. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That has me a little bit worried. Not because I think we necessarily needed a 2-part movie, but like, I don't want like this is just I'm worried that this is going to just feel rushed. That this is going to be like a Wikipedia article and not an actual like narrative.
Well, that's the, I don't know if it's going to be rushed. It feels like I would give them credit. I would say maybe they made the decision. Okay, look, we're just going to have this to just.
I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like 3 hours long. I really wouldn't.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, a part of me wonders if they were smart and maybe it's like, okay, maybe we don't need all the stuff we were planning to in a part 2. Maybe the core story is, you know, it's basically up to this point in the story. You know, basically it's like
says it's allegedly a cradle to grave story.
Oh, well, that's there. You're gonna need either 3 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit you need to pack in.
Then you have the big thing everyone's gonna wonder when they go into that movie is, are we gonna do the Neverland stuff? And it's oh boy.
Which honestly, if I were a screenwriter, I would do like a little framing device where we start in Neverland and we kind of like cut back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like kind of have like dueling timelines almost.
This is like Jackson's nephew, right? Playing him?
Something like that. I want to say something like that. Yeah, I want to say nephew.
Anyway, so his nephew, I feel kind of bad for him because it sounds like people in the area have been giving him crap because it's like, you know, they're making fun of his nose, and it's like a lot of people say, oh, they're saying, oh, they're intentionally doing the big nose. Well, no, that's just kind of the Jacksons are built kind of naturally, and then you know, poor kid. I just feel bad for him. It's like he seems to be doing a really good job too. I'm sure. Yeah, I think he's going to be. It looks like he's going to be really good in the role. And they recreated things pretty flawlessly. I'm looking forward to it.
His name is Jafar Jackson. So if the movie ends up being really bad, we can all point and say, "This is all your fault, Jafar."
Yep.
That, my friend, is a twisted reference. You're welcome. Anyway, I know there's some people in the audience that will appreciate that reference. God damn it!
You know, in the story of Michael Jackson's in 2 halves, and you know, in which
I feel
2 parts kind of made sense. But then,
like I said, if I was a screenwriter, I'd at least do it like the Love and Mercy thing. You know, I think that would be the perfect way to do it.
That would honestly, tell you, that's a really good idea if you were going to do it that way. Now, mind you, I don't know if you want to do it like set it like as a trial as the framing device, which I'm not saying they would have to, but you know,
no, I think we just need to set Neverland as the framing device. Like, I don't even necessarily think we need to get into the trial per se. I just think Neverland is kind of like, oh boy, this is him kind of going over the edge. Like, maybe we can like push into some of the more controversial stuff, you know, after we kind of catch up to the current day. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a hypothetical movie. I'm not the screenwriter, obviously. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
My big fear is that it's just going to be another Bohemian Rhapsody, though.
That is, I mean, that's a concern. Then again, best case, you know, it could be Rocket Man.
Yeah, sure.
Rocket Man was delightful.
Rocket Man was great, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and next up, let's move on to November 2025 movies. So, Dragon, what did you think of Zootopia 2?
So, Zootopia 2, I think it was on par with the hallmarks of Zootopia, which I love the first Zootopia. That was great. So I think this is a good movie, but it's not quite, I don't think it's quite measuring up to a 9-year wait for a Zootopia sequel. I will say that much. I'm not saying there's like a lot of like, there's like a lot of expectation, but it just feels like, man, we took a long time to do this. And it just feels like, well, this is a nice sequel. It probably should have come out a lot sooner, you know, but I love the I tell you my favorite part about my favorite aspect of the movie, though, the thing that really got me excited, like, ooh, this is good. I love David Stratham, and I love making him the villain. I love the whole, like the Lynx family,
The
and
Lynxes were basically the fucking
I
Roys.
know, right? It was great. Just making him the Roys, and basically making having see. I love David Stratham for a variety of reasons, and the point being, David Stratham, he is sorry, he's in two things I'm be talking about this month, by the way. This and something else, which he did an equally great job in. But this was great. Seeing him play just a really great cutthroat, basically Logan Roy-esque bad guy, and I just, oh my god, he was just such a great villain, which we were basically lacking. It was like the element we were lacking in the first Utopia, which we really did here. I was like, yes, just
And then the Andy Samberg villain guy, he was like also like, he had a good role. I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but he had a good role. I'll say that much.
Initially, I kept jumping back and forth if that was Andy, because I knew it sounded like Andy Samberg. I think it was Andy Samberg, or wait a minute, am I just assuming this is Andy Samberg and this is actually Jack Quaid?
Oh my god, dude! Oh, I'm so happy.
You had that too?
Yes, I thought for
right?
sure it was fucking Jack Quaid.
The
credits.
Because my thing was his introduction. It sounds so much like Jack Quaid, like the whole the non-threatening. It's like like a Novocaine entrance.
Right,
right.
Like, no, totally. Like it almost feels like a character that was like written for Jack Quaid, and they couldn't get Jack Quaid, so they're like, "All right, Andy, come on, you're the old model." So no, my god, I'm so glad that we had the same reaction to that. That's awesome.
So Nick and Judy, their chemistry is a sell for the movie, and I think we delivered on that. So we're doing things right here. And
also, as a fan of platonic friendships in media, I like that. There's still some room open if they want to ship them, but they haven't gotten there yet, and I don't think they need to. I like that they're playing the slow game with it.
I respect that they're not like just giving in to like the legions of fans who are saying just put them together, let them make Rabbit
Dragon. I don't know how much you know about the fan stuff revolving Nick and Judy, but it gets dark.
Oh, dark?
I'll tell you off air. It gets dark.
I mean, I'm just saying, I imagine it's like the shipping thing where it's like, okay, they're
Dragon, there are storylines revolving around Nick and Judy in the fanfic community. Yes, the comic, Colby. That's all you need to know. The comic. I will tell you about it off air, Dragon.
Okay.
This is not an on-air conversation.
Okay. You. Anyway, my point is, I love Disney doing a cop movie so much, and that's what we get with Zootopia. So my urges or my wants are satisfied there. I enjoyed the plot. However, I can see him. I can see him trying a bit too hard with the plot and the whole we got to add a few extra twists and turns here and there. And I mean, it's. I like our story. I really do. I do like the core story, but it feels like a lot of things are kind of happening on the way to. Think about it. The first Utopia is a very streamlined, very direct, very simple story. There, all the roads converge at the same place. And here we have a few things that are like, okay, we have a mystery that we're trying to solve, which is great. But, getting there, we have a lot of subterfuge between Nick and Judy and their partnership, which I feel, Judy isn't really being that fair to Nick in places. She's being really reckless and almost getting them killed, and there's no apologies for that, which I feel like we should call her out for that a little bit more.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do think the movie does specifically call her out for that.
Yeah, but she doesn't really seem to. I don't know. I wonder if her apology later on feels like she really covered low. Yeah, I almost got us killed when we probably didn't need to. It's like she kind of steamrolls him a little bit. It gets more of a rewatch thing. I think it might be better on a rewatch. Anyway, the point being. Overall, I think it was good, but we might have. I'm sure, upon a rewatch, might be some fine tuning here and there, but just there's a simplicity to the original plot structure. But still, I think this is a good follow up. Just maybe not a follow up that we need to ruminate on for 9 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much in line with an Inside Out 2, where it's definitely got a lot of good qualities. Colby, I do agree that the metaphors were less in your face. I hear you in that regard for sure. the world was definitely well realized. Good world building there. Yeah, I did get a little bit. I'm a little bit over the Beaver character, especially because they used her so much in the marketing.
So I think what happened with the Beaver, so that the Beaver character is a comedian. I think you've seen her on Netflix a lot, but not you, but I'm saying collectively. Yeah, so I think it's one of those things where we have a comedian, we kind of let them riff, kind of the old Disney formula of like, hey, we have a comic, and we're just going to let them just kind of like, they make us laugh, so we're going to put them in the movie.
I mean, the character was just straight up unlikable to me, honestly.
I didn't feel, look, I feel there was some charm there, but not nearly as much charm as they thought there was. That kind of thing where, okay, she's,
you know what I do respect, though? I respect the fact that, like, they use all the fan favorite characters, but they use them just enough. They don't overdo it with anything. You know, we don't get, like, an Olaf in Frozen 2 situation. I'm sorry, Code Geass. I'm sorry, but it's true. You know, it's like Flash shows up and he has his moment. You know, the Shrews have their moment, you know, and I think that's all really good. And also, I think one of the special hidden gems about this movie, Dragon, fucking Patrick Warburton.
Yes. Oh my God.
He was great. He was great. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm with you. It's very good.
I noticed we kind of pulled a Mask of the Phantasm with Chief Bogo here.
A little bit, yes.
You know, where I love
great about that because I know you really like him.
I love Chief Bogo, and you know, it's almost like the Commissioner Gordon thing where I love Gordon. And he's in Mass Effect. He made the cut. He's in the movie, but logically, and the same thing with Bogo. Logically, Bogo would be smart enough not to take the bait for what happens in the movie. So he kind of pulls the Gordon where it's like, hey, look, I'm not gonna have any part of this, and he walks right out of the movie. It's Bogo
exactly.
We kind of do that. It's like, well, that's a shame because.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, Wicked for Good. You didn't see this, I assume, right?
No,
I didn't think so. Just making sure.
No. No.
Okay, I thought it was all right. Like, here's the thing with Wicked is that everyone knows if they're familiar with the stage play. The second act is a little rushed. It's basically just kind of like tying the Wizard of Oz stuff into the Wicked stuff and kind of tying the storyline together. And I think it does that all right. The songs are generally speaking a little less memorable. I think my main issue with the movie is that just the choreography isn't there. Like, because that's one of the big things about the first Wicked movie is just how elaborate the choreography is. That being said, there's definitely a few standout songs. Believe it or not, Dragon, Jeff Goldblum actually gets the best song in the movie, in my opinion. He, like, him and Elphaba and Glinda have this like 3-way number that's fantastic. Great color, great choreography, great set pieces in that song. Most of the songs in this movie, unfortunately, are just two people like singing to each other in a room, which it gets boring after a while, frankly. So look, it absolutely does stay true to Act 2 of Wicked for better and worse. I thought it was a decent movie. I don't think it's nearly as good as the first one, but I think it ended things out okay. I think people are generally speaking kind of giving it a hard time in the sense that, like, yeah, this is pretty much Wicked Act 2. This is pretty much what you asked for. Like, if you're not happy with this, then you probably didn't know what you were going into and to begin with. That's kind of where I stand on it. All right. Okay, so Frankenstein Dragon. I thought this was all right. It didn't really land with me, but I assume you maybe liked it better.
Yes, I did, Tiki.
Yeah, that's expect. I need to give it a rewatch. I need to give it a rewatch for sure.
Yeah, I love this. Del Toro, I feel, has been on a roll since such a roll since Shape of Water.
My problem is just that I'm just so intimately familiar with the Frankenstein story that it's basically just like, yep, this is indeed Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Well, yeah, why don't you enjoy it more, though?
Dragon, because I'm a cynical asshole,
yeah.
Okay?
Yes, you
because
are.
I am a cynical asshole.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gave it like a 7 out of 10.
Really? You couldn't go for an 8? Really? You couldn't just like a little more? You had to stop at 7? You couldn't just 8?
Can I go do the your movie sucks thing where it's like it's closer to an 8 than a 6?
Okay, anyway. My take on the movie. So I think Del Toro's been on such a roll since Shape of Water onward. I really have. I think he's really just been perfecting his craft ever since. And I just, I think this excelled at adapting, the books and just breathing new life. Honestly, I'm saying with the movies that he's been doing lately, a lot of them have been based on books and novels and just kind of like stories that we've seen before. Just kind of like doing his spin.
Of course.
Yeah, doing his spin on kind of the greats and the classics and the books that maybe people haven't read, and just breathe new life into them. And I think this, to me, in my experience, and I haven't seen every Frankenstein movie, unlike this guy, but
I have not seen the majority of them.
Oh, really? Okay. You made it sound like you're Frankenstein out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mostly familiar with the book in regards to like that's the comparison that I find hard to look past with this movie. I don't like the things they actually added, but I digress.
Well, that's what I'm saying to a guy who's just like, I read what I was given in school with the Frankenstein. I don't think I've read it cover to cover. I mean, I probably read big excerpts of it, and, done stuff on Frankenstein. I'm saying I know a lot of differences are between the book and this. But I mean, the book and just what we've seen in the movies and everything. But to me, this is like at least, if not the most accurate, the most book accurate Frankenstein movie, at least I've ever seen.
It's very accurate to the vibes of the book at the very least. Yeah.
I'm just saying, at least in my experience, it's the most accurate one that I've seen. But broadly, though, it feels like.
I mean, there's a lot of, like, one of the big differences is that the brother in the book is like a little kid, and it's the first person that the monster kills, and that gives Victor a really fucking good reason to hate the monster that, frankly, I don't think Victor has in this story, honestly. Like, so it's just kind of like a domino effect of making the brother more of like a romantic rival for Victor more than anything else. I don't know.
I mean, he did still kill the brother too, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like not until like towards the end.
Yeah, no. Fair point.
I'm saying it was a catalyst to the action more so than like the climax in the book.
Okay, well, my point is, I think it's most entertaining we've seen something this close to the book, and it also had been like an entertaining movie as well.
It is cool to see the framing device. I will say that because they stick the framing device pretty close to what it is in the book for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I lived for I love the color theory. I love Del Toro has a very Daredevil like color theory, and I dig it. It's
the
like
production design is obviously absolutely on point. It feels like every movie Del Toro just gets better and better with production design.
And the whole father-son aspect, I love with Frankenstein in general that we really.
I thought
really
the way the father-son aspect ended was a little corny.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Dragon. It felt like something out of a fucking Disney movie.
It was a very nice ending.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. This is where our disconnect. Dragon, I don't get into the sappy side of Del Toro in the same way you do. I think that's where a lot of our disconnect comes from.
Good. Anyway, so I was like Tiki saying though, I was head over heels for that framing device and the 2-act structure. Which again, Del Toro, when he has a 2-act structure, he does a fantastic 2-act structure.
For sure.
So look, at the end of the day, this doesn't surpass Shape of. To me, I know Tiki has a different. I haven't seen all of Del Toro's stuff.
I respect Shape of Water a lot. I do. It's just for me, I think Pan's Labyrinth is always going to be his masterpiece.
Well, that's the thing. So I can't say that. I haven't seen all of the. I'm not a horror guy, but Del Toro's like the thing inches me into horror.
Have you not seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. Anyways, just saying, if you're a Del Toro guy, that's the Del Toro movie.
Wait until later.
Okay.
Wait until later in the podcast.
Okay.
We'll get there. Anyway, all right. So look, I can't say. Look, I haven't seen all of Del Toro's stuff. Because again, he can go really dark in certain things, and as in the horror leanings and everything. I know Pan's Labyrinth doesn't. Pan's Labyrinth sounds like kind of walks kind of a line with that, but anyway, I haven't got.
It's definitely more like gothic dark fantasy than it is pure horror.
Yeah,
like it's more like Brothers Grimm. That's how I would describe Pan's Labyrinth.
So, like I've said, just kind of my experience of what I have seen. I mean, to me, at the end, I really do feel Shape of Water is like the man's masterpiece. I love it. I live for Shape of Water, man. So, with that said, I don't think this surpasses Shape of Water, but I can see the passion.
It's definitely better than like a Nightmare Alley or the fucking Haunted Mansion movie, Crimson Peak. It's definitely better than movies like that.
Well, I mean, Nightmare Alley is good though, but you're right. It's better.
Nightmare Alley is good, but this is better. It's better.
No, this is better. I'm agreeing. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. I watched this movie. I can see his passion because he's loved Frankenstein. He's always kind of wanted to make this movie. It's been dragged in production heck for like a long while. Development.
Between this and Pinocchio, I would say I probably prefer Pinocchio if I'm being honest.
I mean, Pinocchio was really good though. It's kind of hard to. Anyway, so as I'm saying, I watched this movie. It feels like it's Del Toro bringing cinema to Netflix, bringing cinema to the small screen. I really respect it. I really respect what he's doing with that because I felt like as I had the production, it felt like like Del Toro put everything into giving us like a really good movie experience from the comfort of home. I found the ending beautiful, and it's everything I love about Del Toro kind of distilled down there. It just hit me in the right spots. It just feels like I see a movie, I see him doing Frankenstein, I see him doing The Shape of Water. It's like I've said this before. It's in a just world, Del Toro would have done like a Dark Universe-esque plan or like string of movies, or just like the Del Toro takes on like the horror greats. He would have
basically been like the James Gunn to Universal's Dark Universe.
Exactly. Like think of that. And so far, what we've kind of gotten is we've gotten his take, his unofficial remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is fantastic.
He's basically like doing that, except he's doing unofficial takes on everything.
Done that. He's done Frankenstein, and he's look, this is not like verbatim, but he has done a big vampire movie with Blade 2.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying in terms of him like breaching the greats. So he hasn't done a werewolf movie yet, to my knowledge.
Mummy next.
Yep. That's honestly the Mummy.
What if he directed the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie, Mummy 4?
Okay, he would do a great job.
I would be so fucking down, honestly.
I don't think incredible. I think Del Toro would want to do here's the thing. The Mummy period is in need of like a good, because even the original Mummy movie was like
I think the Mummy movies and Hellboy kind of honestly share some similar DNA just as far as like the tone and the vibe.
No, they do. I'm saying so the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies do. You're right. I'm just saying in general though, with the Mummy, even going back to Karloff's Mummy, if you really look at that movie, is the least exciting of like the original.
It's basically another Dracula. It's
exactly
Dracula,
just with an Egyptian vibe. But if Del Toro
Brendan Fraser Mummy is way better than Boris Karloff.
It is. I'm just saying. Yes, I'm aware of this. What I'm saying is, I think if Del Toro did a ground up Mummy that is not as great as he would do with a Brendan Fraser like Mummy sequel, which I know he'd do a great job with, if he did. If any horror character could use a ground up on that, I think it would be the Mummy at the hands of Del Toro. I think he'd do a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. All right. Train Dreams, Dragon. This is not your type of movie, but it's very much my type of movie. I don't know if I can sell it to you in a way that would make you actually want to see it, but Colby, I'm not sure if you've seen it yet. So Joel Edgerton, he's the main guy, and it's basically like just this guy's life. He is like an orphan. He starts out in the turn of the century, kind of like 1900s, 1910s, and for a lot of his life, he's a logger. He is trying to start a family with I forget the actress, but she's good. She's been in stuff.
We all know her.
She was Felicity Jones, I think. Yeah, I think it was Felicity Jones. Yeah, thank you, Colby. Thank you. So he's trying to start a family, and the whole thing is that with him being out on the logging runs for like months at a time, there's like kind of this dilemma. He's losing time with his family. He's got this daughter who's like, starts out as a baby, but then every time he comes back, the daughter grows a little bit more, and he feels like the time he has with his daughter is kind of slipping away from him. And then something happens. That's all I can say. Something big happens that changes the course of his life.
I take it he does not find gold.
No, he does not.
So it's not a good thing that happens.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a good thing that happens.
Okay.
But it would be a big spoiler to say what happens. But Suffice to say, Dragon, this movie, it's a big meditation on life, and he finds actually he doesn't find something, Colby. That's kind of the point. He doesn't find something. It's a meditation on life. Like, you see the character go from like the 1920s to like the 1960s. It ends in like 1969. You see him witnessing the moon landing. So, you see the progress of this one guy, from like, he was an adult in his early 20s, like during the World War I era. And he goes all the way, and Joel Edgerton is the guy the whole time, and the makeup, the aging on him is fantastic. William H. Macy, he has maybe 10 minutes of screen time, but William H. Macy just fucking steals the show. It's honestly one of his best performances I've ever seen him give. So yeah, man, this is on Netflix right now. I mean, it's generally not your type of movie. It's very meditative. It's very much like kind of visual poetry almost. But if you got some time, check it out. I loved it. It'll probably be on my top 10 of the year, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, killer ending. All right. Okay, so being Eddie Murphy, Dragon, I have not seen the whole thing yet. I decided that I watched the first like 20 minutes or so, and I decided, you know what? This is going to be a really good plane movie. So I will watch it on the airplane, but tell us about it.
There's also, I should say, just Being Eddie. I kind of put Eddie Murphy there as out of instinct. So, but yeah, so Being Eddie. This is a fun documentary on Eddie Murphy's career. Netflix, they, in a sense, I would really give Netflix credit. They kind of they helped revitalize Eddie Murphy to an extent. Like, Eddie Murphy's career kind of has like these multi-generational phases where like every like 10 years or every decade or so, Eddie Murphy kind of like since the 80s onward, he really has like
or I would say even every like 5 years or so, because you have like the Nutty Professor in the mid 90s, and he has Shrek.
That's what I'm saying. Like every 5 to 10 years or however long, every half decade, he kind of has.
And then after Shrek, he had Dreamgirls was the next big thing for him.
5 years is probably more accurate. Every like 5 years, it kind of has like kind of a revitalization. Netflix in recent years has kind of done that. I would argue Dolomite did a lot of good.
Right.
Dolomite's a really great movie. I believe the Ed Wood guys wrote that for him. I can't remember, but it felt very Ed Wood and what it was doing. Anyway, so with that, Netflix is kind of like the producers. I want to say, I don't. For the life of me, because I read an article somewhere. I wasn't able to check the credits in time because I'd have to pull a little hat trick on it. But I want to say the producers on this documentary might have been the producers of Norbit. And
I was going to ask if they get into any Norbits.
They do, and that's why I bring it up, because with the Dreamgirls, they bring up the whole
Norbit in theaters. God damn it!
Well, so did I.
Did you?
Yes. Anyway, so my point being that I could be wrong about that, but they do talk about that, and I want to say they were sure to put that in the documentary, maybe because the producers of Norbit were involved in this, and this is kind of like their apology for it in a sense.
Say what you know about Norbit. If anything else, that movie had amazing makeup.
It did. It really did. Seriously, no one. Horribly offensive in places, but it was really
right.
Very well done. Like, I mean, God. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Norbit. The point being, basically, Murphy right now is kind of at like a full circle point in his career between Dolomite and the return to SNL, and because that was a big deal for him, and basically you can feel that reflectiveness in the documentary. That's kind of why now is the right time, because the big question in everyone's mind right now after he returned to SNL for like around the holidays, and then he was like there for like the big anniversary thing they did. Him going to his beginnings, which since you were stand-up in SNL, everyone wants him to go back to the stage, basically do another Eddie Murphy Raw, kind of, do another like a big stand-up kind of return. And he hasn't quite done that. And as you probably saw in the opening, we kind of tease up like what it would take or what he would bring back to the stage if he did come back, which would be kind of some really ambitious and awesome material. And we kind of set up and pay off that joke very well, I'm going to say. Anyway, so this again, it covers the career hits, the beginnings, the rise, but also gives full context to the like some other things like the infamous David Spade beef on SNL. So it gives context and like a proper answer to that from his side, as well as heard from everybody else's side. Just it's generally like the evolution of Murphy's career and everything. Just he basically is the hero comic for black comedy, and there's a really sweet thing in the documentary. He did something very noble and very nice for like all the great black comedians. I won't tell you what it was. I want you to watch it, but it was really it was it was like the classiest thing I've ever heard like a stand up ever do for somebody, and it was like a thing that could never be thanked for. It was like really top notch, man. Like you're gonna come out. I think you're gonna come out with like greater appreciation for Eddie Murphy. I don't know. I mean, I hope. Anyway, yeah, so it's pretty good, and I like it when Netflix is a good documentary. It's not always about murder, and something about kind of comedy and laughs and just kind of the greats while they're still around. I think we need more of that, and this was good.
All right, cool. Okay, let's see. So for me, I have The Running Man. Oh my god, Dragon. What happened to Edgar Wright? I used to be so excited for Edgar Wright. I don't even like. There's some cool stuff about this movie. I think Coleman Domingo once again gives a really good performance. You're right. He is kind of becoming one of my guys. Glenn Powell is like serviceable. I think the problem with The Running Man is just the writing is so like on the nose. The writing is so like, hey, do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get that this is the message that we're trying to tell? Do you get that the rich is bad and the poor is good? Do you get it? I don't know, man. It's not the right, like some of the action is okay. The writing is just bad. The dialogue is bad. There's so many plot conveniences. It's just an all around, like it's by far Edgar Wright's worst movie. And I actually liked Last Night in Soho more than most people did. And this is so far below that. So very unfortunate. I feel like Edgar Wright needs a comeback the same way Taika Waititi needs a comeback. Anyways, okay. Sangre del Toro. Is this a Guillermo del Toro documentary?
Yes.
All right.
So it's a documentary on Netflix about Del Toro by way of...
It would be funny if it was a Benicio del Toro documentary.
It would be funny. What
if there was just a documentary where it was just Benicio del Toro and Guillermo del Toro on a road trip together?
You mean like the Harper and Will?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that would be funny, but anyway, so yes, this is a documentary on Del Toro by way of like he basically opened a museum. It's like a touring museum, so I don't know if it's gonna be like there forever. But he opened a museum in Guadalajara, Mexico, which is where Del Toro is from. And I think it's called House of Monsters, and it's basically this exhibit. So Del Toro, I really wish we were able to, honestly, when I heard the premise of like it was like we're going through Del Toro's collection, I really thought it was going to be we were going through Del Toro's actual house, because Del Toro has this very museum quality like house where he has like all this curios. I think he pulled a lot of curios from his house and he put it into this museum exhibit. So it's kind of that, but still kind of wish we went for
it. Almost kind of sounds like Del Toro's version of Casa Bonita.
Pretty, I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's kind of,
except there's not like a childhood thing attached to it.
Well,
no, I mean, I get that monsters are a big part of this. I'm just saying, like, he's not like resurrecting an institution from his childhood.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's not that. I'm just saying, though, there is a big thing. We go through Del Toro's childhood, which is very much all of his work is kind of rooted through it. The idea is like the way the museum is curated in a way that basically gives you like a kind of a peek into Del Toro's mind as you go through, and you have like props and stuff from his movies, but also it's just a genuine art collection. He's a really good art collection, which basically says stuff about him, and basically we have interstitials with like Del Toro kind of narrating as you go through. So it's a real, honestly, the thing I'd recommend to you about is I think you would really like about this. It feels almost like a virtual tour, like from the comfort of.
What is it on? Where can I find it?
Netflix.
Nice. I might have to download it and watch it on the flight. Sounds like
an hour 20 minutes, so it's pretty easy breezy to watch. That's the thing. It's basically you're going. It's like you get a sense that you're going through the museum, and they show you.
That'd be an especially good airplane movie because Dark Universe is on the mind for me.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing. I love it. I wish it was longer and a little more in depth because there's a lot of places they could have gone, and we cover everything. And but again, it's more about Del Toro than it is like purely. It's not as straightforward like we go through all the movies and like how it relates to them. But it's more of an experience than it is like a traditional documentary. So it's unique and it's cool. I mean, Del Toro is fascinating. We get those tidbits of him and his life, and that's what I'm saying. Like coming out of this, it makes me really want seeing the clips of Pan's Labyrinth. I have had an interest in Pan's Labyrinth, but I've always had the hesitation of like,
Drake, I will say there's one act of violence at Pan's Labyrinth. It has nothing to do with the monsters. There's one act of violence that I think would get under your skin, like like the bodily thing that you have.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think you do fine in the actual horror of it.
Yes, I mean, look, at some point, I think I'm going to try Pan's Labyrinth. It's also a matter of like when it's streaming and, when the stars align on that. So it's going to, eventually.
Pretty sure the anniversary is maybe 2006 or 2007, something like that. So
yeah, we'll see how soon that rolls. I want to say 6, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either.
I think it's 6, but
I want to say it might be 7.
Wait a minute, it can't be 2000. Wait, Pan's Labyrinth was Pan's Labyrinth was after Hellboy, right?
Yeah, it was after Hellboy.
Oh, then yeah, that's definitely 06 then.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Anyway, point being,
it was 2006. Yeah,
called it. Anyway, yeah, this was great though, and I just a lot of insights from Del Toro's past. Del Toro had a really screwed up childhood, not screwed up like he was tortured or anything, but screwed up in that a lot of like really again the man who makes monsters. He had some scary things happen. Okay.
All right, I'm going to breeze through these two pretty fast because they're basically just like kind of generic action movies. Sisu Road to Revenge, like it's good. It's basically like Inglourious Bastards meets Mad Max Fury Road. It's like a Nazi revenge movie where it's like the main character is like a Holocaust survivor whose family was killed by the Nazis and he's trying to get revenge. It's all set mostly just it's one big car chase, just like Mad Max Fury Road is, which is very impressive. There's a lot of really cool action choreography, probably some of the best like straight up action of the year, if I'm being honest. And also I really like the element that he comes home, he literally takes his family home apart plank by plank, like this wood cabin. He takes it apart, loads it up onto a fucking truck, and the whole movie he's driving this truck trying to relocate his family's house. And like the stakes are like, we can't lose the pieces of wood. So that is set up with a really good plot device. So this is actually a mystery movie for me. Like I went to go see one of those like mystery screenings. And at first I was kind of caught off guard because I have not seen the first Sisu movie. But I thought it worked. I thought it worked as a standalone. I didn't really think I needed to see the first movie. And from everything I hear, this is definitely a lot stronger than the first film. So, yeah. Then we got Predator Badlands, which I thought was okay. Here's the thing with Predator Badlands is that it starts out really strong, Dragon. It starts out really strong. And by the way, this is the first Predator movie I have ever seen. I haven't even seen any of the... I think I saw the Predators movie, the one with... that had Michael Clark Duncan in it. Or not, I'm sorry, not Michael Clark Duncan. Freaking Cowboy Curtis Dragon. Lawrence Fishburne. I saw that one. I think Adrian Brody was the main character in that one. Yeah, I don't know. With Badlands, I really, really like the first half. The first half is very atmospheric. You get to see the Predator homeworld. You get to see the native language that they speak and predators just interacting with each other. One family in particular, the brutal society. There's a lot of cool, like elemental, environmental, survival stuff going on. But then the Wayland Corporation gets into it, and I will say, Colby, I think I get the sense that you like this more than I do. Once the Wayland Corporation goes into it, and once they get off of the main planet, and it's just kind of like running around the Wayland base, it drops off a cliff for me a little bit. I think the second half of this movie is like way less interesting than the first half. I think the first half is good enough that it's worth a watch, especially if you've already seen Prey. I haven't seen Prey, but if you like this director's style, I could see this really clicking for you. Ultimately, it's just a matter for me of like we have like such a cool environment and setting in the first half, and then the second half is just kind of like running around like very generic, like first person shooter military bases for the most part. That's the way I can describe it. So yeah. All right. Okay, so next up we have TV. All right, Vision season 3, Dragon.
So Jake,
Vision season 3.
Not
WandaVision season. I'm sorry, that was
no. So Jacob and I did a podcast on this one already, more in depth, just to give you an idea. So it's basically, it's the anime anthology Star Wars series on Disney Plus. I mean, were you on for any of those? Or
what now? Sorry.
Okay, do you remember doing the anime Star Wars anthology thing together, like in the past? We've talked Visions before, haven't we?
I don't know. I think it might have been just you and Jacob. I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing.
Well, these are good. It's basically a third season of that.
I'm just so burnt out on Star Wars in general, Dragon. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I haven't even finished Andor yet, as you know, and honestly, like I know it's good. I know I would like it, but I don't have the energy to.
Well, this is like one of the things you watch just to kind of like get the old distance from traditional Star Wars. This is like Star Wars like with an anime vibe, and it's like the Animatrix with Star Wars, only they don't connect you. It's very separate. Now, a few of the popular segments got sequels this time around. It's like there's like 3 sequel shorts, and it's usually a thing these anthology shows like What If kind of fall into a trap with. But here, I thought it was pretty like there was like a desire for these collectively. I don't think there's any like phoned in like sequels. Like you have like stuff like going back to like the first season that people really liked, and they took their time with them, and they kind of did sequels to them. So there's one Tiki. If you only can only get you to watch one episode, even from this season. Okay, it's the Ninth Jedi got a sequel, and they had a droid named Teto, and he is played by our boy. We got Freddie Highmore to play him.
Oh no!
It's Freddie Highmore playing a very, very pleasant, very British droid. And it's beautiful, and oh my god, he's an utter delight. It was like so pleasant. Like, oh my god, it's Highmore. And he's playing the most pleasant, upbeat little Star Wars droid you ever saw. It's like if BB-8 could talk. He's delightful.
Oh man.
Anyway, so also you had like the Lost Ones with this character F and the Duel. Point being, you got variety. And I think 2 kind of wavered a little bit for me. Season 2 kind of wavered. Season 3, I think, really brought it back. Got some variety. Got some sequels. Yuko's Treasure feels very Ghibli-esque. Again, it's overall stronger. I will say this, so there's a taste thing. Some segments might not grab you. I'm saying across the series as a whole. It's kind of like, it's because there's a lot of variety. It's a different animation studio per short. I did not care at all for the last one in this season. I will say that it's artsy with no story at all. And it's just, that's just me. Anyway, that's good.
Okay. All right. Smiling Friend, season 3. Dragon, I don't know, like this, for me, I fucking love this show so much. I honestly think this is like one of the best Adult Swim shows that there's ever been. I think this is like right up there with like early season Rick and Morty, like season 1 and 2 Rick and Morty. And guess what? Unlike Rick and Morty, I think season 3 has been the best season so far. Because the thing with Smiling Friends, Dragon, is that it's nonsensical, right? It's very surrealist. It's like, it's got a very simple premise of like, their job is just to make people smile. Like they go in and they help people who are having a bad time with things. And by the end of the episode, there's always like the moment where they make them smile. But how they go about that, there's some crazy surreal shit. There's a lot of mixed multimedia animation. There's a lot of guest people, like Mr. Plinkett was in the first episode. Like he's the client, like not Plinkett the character, but Mike Stokowska, the guy who voices Plinkett, is the first client in the pilot episode. So that just goes, Doug Walker has cameoed. I'm honestly surprised that James Rolfe hasn't cameoed yet. It seems like something. Just overall, I just think the show does a fantastic job. It's almost kind of like regular show-esque of like, we're going to take this one like workplace premise and we're going to stretch it to be as crazy as we can possibly go with it. And I just think every season it's just become more and more consistent, more and more pushing the bars of the animation and what they can do and the running gags and the characterization. Just very strong stuff all around for me. All right. Parish.
Yes, a Parish. I have been meaning to get back to this for the longest time because I watched it when it aired, but then I kind of fell off because I forgot the DVR an episode. So, it's it was an overdue binge. So this was a mini series on AMC that adapted a BBC show. It was set in New Orleans in the American adaptation, and stars Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh my god!
And so after,
is he a big bad boss man?
No, he's not a big bad.
Sorry.
Okay, anyway, so after seeing Giancarlo at the Comic-Con, I was kind of determined to, I'm going to go back. I'm going to properly, binge Parish. I mean, here's the thing. Serendipitously, it was added to Netflix like the week he was there. So it was like,
nice.
No, the stars have kind of aligned. I'm overdue to get Parish in finally because now I can watch without commercials and everything's great. So, yeah, so basically he's like a wheelman. He's very much he's a driver. He owns like a limousine company. Essentially, he's he used to be in his heyday. He was kind of a wheelman for kind of running jobs. But he's kind of put that in his rear view to raise his family, and then of course, unfortunately, in that time, his son was killed, and the family's basically where the show starts. Kind of it's a recent thing, so they're all grieving. And Skeet Ulrich, good old Skeet Ulrich from Scream for historically, but also Riverdale back when it was good. Skeet Ulrich, he basically drops into the poor guy's lap a whole lot of problems. And initially, so what I remember the first episode very well, and that's kind of after that I dropped off. And basically, watching is that it is such an interesting misdirect. Where episode 1, it ends in a way that you think, okay, this is basically we have Giancarlo as the Walter White figure in a breaking, and basically a kind of a cats in the river situation.
Sure.
A cats in the bags, and that whole thing. It's very much kind of a Crazy 8 situation. You'd imagine that he's kind of found himself in. However, episode 2, big twist at the end of that episode is like, okay, we are not going in that direction at all. Or basically, he's caught up in like this African crime syndicate thing in New Orleans, and he's basically, he's just a guy trying to get out of it. Like he's not going for it. He's not trying to, impress anyone. He's not trying to be a bad guy. He's just, he's just trying to get out of a very tight spot that has been kind of forced upon him, and he's just a very clever guy with his whole wheelman thing. He's really good at getting away with things. So it's a good show. It's 6 episodes, but here's the issue. So it peaks at episode 4. Episode 4 is like the best episode. It's fantastic. I can't tell you how great episode 4 is. It's just everything's wonderful. It's brilliant. What they do there, it's like you as an audience member is like, oh God, if you were in that situation, it's palpable. It's like, what would you do in this situation? Like, oh God. And the solutions to this are great, but it just, it was good. It's just then we have just kind of resolutions of what's left over and the stuff that we've set up in the 4 episodes. That's kind of where 5 and 6 kind of go. Where it's fine. It basically kind of. I'm not saying it didn't deserve another season, but you can kind of see why. Okay, I guess the network, they kind of felt it was too much of a thinker.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so it's yet more proof that shows you that we need more Giancarlo as a leading man. We need to do that more.
I still want that damn romantic comedy.
Yeah.
All right. The Chair Company. So Tim Robinson, man. The movie Friendship with Paul Rudd, one of the better Paul Rudd performances. I liked it a lot. That was kind of my gateway drug into Tim Robinson. And then I watched his sketch comedy show, I Think You Should Leave, on Netflix. I think that's a fucking masterpiece of a sketch comedy show. Like, just truly, like, kind of like iconic of the moment zeitgeist shit right there. Unfortunately, like, I might be in the minority on this, but for me, the chair company basically is trying to do, like, what if all the crazy, like, socially awkward, like, stuff that happens to Tim Robinson in his general brand of humor was all tied together through some crazy conspiracy theory. It felt a lot like what Nathan Fielder tries to do with, like, having, you know, like, where Nathan For You was kind of like the episodic version of what Nathan Fielder does, and then the rehearsal is kind of like the actual narrative, where this isn't like, you know, pseudo reality like Nathan Fielder is, but that's just kind of like the comparison I would make. I just think this gets way too over convoluted for its own good. I think there's certain elements of it that are really good. Like, basically the whole premise is that this guy, essentially, he gets a promotion at work, and during the big promotion dinner, he sits down on a chair, and the chair, like, collapses on him, and he gets super embarrassed, and he thinks that there's a conspiracy theory around the chair company that built the chairs, that they're building defective chairs. He goes on like a deep dive about it, and it's a great premise. There's a great character that starts out as a guy who's casing his house, and then Tim Robinson hires him to instead work for him to crack down on the chair company. That character is really good. His name is Mike, and he basically reminds me of, if, you know, Jonathan Banks Mike Ehrmantraut was like a little bit more socially inept. Like, that's the way I would describe this Mike. But this Mike is very, like, he's very Mike Ehrmantraut-esque, except he does not understand social cues. The finale, which I just watched, as you know, we had to bump this to 11 specifically so I could watch the finale. It was all over the place, man. Like, it ended very, very abruptly. There was some big reveals. Like, they're clearly going to do a season 2 of this. And for me, it's just kind of like, it just got a little too big for its britches. Like, I'll watch a season 2, but like, you need a flow chart to keep trying. Dragon, it's one of those things also, it's kind of the same problem that I had with the Phoenician scheme, where it's like, I'm not sure if I'm just dumb or if the writing is intentionally making the scheme convoluted, you know? Like, I'm not sure if the fact that everything is so convoluted and you need a flowchart to follow everything is the joke. It might be. At any rate, I think that something like I Think You Should Leave is a lot better of a showcase of Tim Robinson's, like, because he's like a big influence on me as far as like comedy and timing and like irony and stuff. Like, I really think he's got, like, I really think his style is just pretty revolutionary as far as just being so out on 4th Street about your character flaws and those awkward, uncomfortable moments. But this show does have that. Like, he has a lot of really uncomfortable interactions with his coworkers and his boss and stuff like that are very social cringe. But I just don't think it ties itself together too well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the season 2. It's obvious that they're doing a season 2 with the way season 1 ends. Right, with comedians like Tim, is that the joke is always, you're not wrong, Teddy. You're not wrong about that. Yeah, I feel ya. All right, Dragon, let's power through your last 2 TV shows.
All right. Tulsa King Season 3.
All right.
So I love Tulsa King. I've told you this before. It's
a Stallone show, right?
Yeah, it's the Stallone.
That's what I thought.
So Taylor Sheridan, he's done. He did Yellowstone. He's done like a lot of stuff. Since then, like Tulsa King and Mayor of Kingstown. Like all these are like his, and like I think Landman's probably his too. Anyway, he's basically Paramount Plus is like he's kind of their Mark Guggenheim or their Feige or whatever you want. He's like the big showrunner guy.
Mm-hmm.
So season 3, we pay off the cliffhanger of season 2, which we kind of teased there. Stallone, again, he really has a sweet deal going with Paramount Plus. I will say that. He's. I hear there's some trouble. There might be some trouble with season 4 because they've downsized a lot of their crew or something. So there might be some troubled waters there. I don't know if they've technically lost Sheridan, overseeing the ship on that or not. I don't know. But all I know is like a lot of crews. I don't know how season 4 is going to go, but just season 3 itself, Dwight, he's breaking in the prohibition because he's basically he's kind of run like the marijuana operation and in Tulsa so far up to this point, and some of the other the gambling casinos and like a lot of like other criminal enterprises. And now he's breaking the prohibition in Tulsa, which basically leads to a problem where there's this guy in town named Dunmire who runs Prohibition Booze in Tulsa, and that guy's played by Robert Patrick.
Oh, nice. Oh, God.
And Robert Patrick is this demented Southern gentleman type who is like not to be messed with. It's like the first time like Dwight's really come up against some opposition who is like, he is just not, he's not giving a knee or like bulking at Manfredi at all here. He is like, this is my town. This is my business. Take everything else you want, but not the booze. So, yeah, so Kevin Pollak's in here. He's like an FBI agent. So basically there's kind of a thing where Dwight is put into a very uncomfortable position here where he's basically is becoming reluctantly an informant to the FBI, which is the worst thing a mobster, especially a boss in his position or a capo, could be. The last thing you want to be is kind of in a rat-like position in the mob. And he's not technically a rat, but he's not a rat. Because basically this guy is kind of like lording it over him that, hey, you help me catch. Basically, he wants to use him to catch a terrorist, and Dwight's a patriot, so like he's kind of on board for this. But by the same, so like it's just the charm of the show, and the whole point of the show is that Stallone is such a charming SOB, he can turn anyone to his side. And that's kind of what this is. Anyway, we have some setup for the Sam Jackson spinoff show, which is purely why he pops up here. I think it's called Nola King. Like basically, it'll be set in New Orleans. Little forced, but at least
it's called Novocaine.
No, Nola, like N-O, like New Orleans.
Oh, Nola King. Okay, I was going to say, is Jack Wade? Is it a spinoff? No, I'm kidding.
No. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it's a nice. Again, I love this niche that Taylor Sheridan's going to carve for himself with these shows, and I mean, it's also just very entertaining. It's just good to see Stallone involved in some quality and just see him do like really good Stallone kind of stuff,
For sure.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, this is the last one for me, right?
Yep.
Okay, Man on the Inside Season 2. I continue to love the show. Mike Schur did this. So the guy who did The Good Place, this was his follow-up. He, along with, I think, this was his follow-up to The Good Place with Ted Danson in the lead.
Ted Danson, right.
I adored season 1. I still highly recommend season 1 to you. I got a soft spot for it. It's like it's a story of it's an old man finding new purpose.
It's definitely one of those like shows that I know would be a good comfort watch. I just haven't had a lot of time, but yeah.
Memory serves. I want to say the sell was season 1 is basically what if Carl Fredrickson like moved into Shady Oaks from the start. Like basically that's what season 1 kind of is. It built off of that. It basically the whole show is built off of like all the Good Place goodwill that Ted Danson acquired in that show, which is a great place to start. Season 2, there's a new case. He's basically infiltrating a college this time. So, he's kind of like a PI and a spy, essentially, who's like, he's like the inside man being the gag. So Mary Steenburgen, his wife, is in this season, and she plays a love interest, and their chemistry is adorable. It's wonderful. Got a lot of great people showing up, like some legends too in some cases. Like Gary Cole in it, he's kind of like he's the big fish, as it were. Julie's mom is an ex-con played by Constance Marie, George Lopez's wife from the George Lopez show, Angie. Now, here's the big get for season 2, man. David Stratham, he is in this too, and he is so. I love him. One of the reasons I love him is he was in one of my grandfather's favorite movies, and I think he's a good actor. And I've seen him pop up in things like he showed up like in Nightmare Alley in a very memorable role, and he was in Good Night, Good Luck, which is the movie my grandfather loved. The point being, and again, Zootopia 2 just very serendipitously. Oh my God, I was just watching him in a TV show. There he is playing the bad guy in Zootopia 2. It was fantastic. So. The only gripe I have with season 2 really is, we don't really see Charles like doing what his undercover gig is. Like, the idea is like Charles before he retired.
I think the fact that his name is Charles like always confuses me and makes me think that Steve Martin is the lead.
No.
But that is an understandable mix-up, though. Come on.
White-haired, bespectacled gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. Named Charles.
Fair enough. But if
Doing
you need,
investigative work.
okay, look, if you need something to tide you over in between seasons of Only Murders, I would highly recommend Man on the Inside. It's basically... My gripe is, I think Charles, before he retired, he was a professor of engineering, and the idea here is it's what his cover is at a college, but we don't really see him teach class at all, which kind of feels like we don't really see... We're at the college, and we have the students, and we have this faculty, but we don't really see him teach all that much, which just feels like kind of a waste of the setting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so look, I don't think it has necessarily the same heart as season 1, because season 1, man, it hits me in the feels, man, it hits me in all the right places. It's a beautiful little story. If it was a one and done season, you have everything you need there. This, I think, was a very valuable continuation. I thought it was great. It was a delight, just not quite like not hitting every bell that season 1 does, but it was good. I still recommend that show.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we don't have a lot of catch up, but let's get into what we got. Let's see. I believe you're up first.
Yes, Wick is pain.
John Wick's real pain is watching Old Yeller.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. So, this documentary on the John Wick movies. I stumbled upon this. I was very eager to watch. It was like such a delight. Oh my god! I did a double take. Oh, John Wick documentary. Yes. So just give the reverence I have for how John Wick kind of revitalized like action movies and kind of how we've been doing it and how we've kind of spun off the spin-offs of Nobody and everything and Novocaine and what have you. It's really good looking back on seeing just how indie the roots of John Wick were in the beginning. Like this was a production that was like hemorrhaging money and just desperately trying to stay afloat, like not get get the axe, because they're pretty much like their pay cuts and just like all sorts of everything you need just to find. It's like the little movie that could kind of stuff. That's predominantly at least what half the documentary is, and then we get into the sequels. Mm-hmm. I love a good franchise documentary with my thing with the horror movies and everything. So this is like all the Nightmare on Elm Street and the Jason films and all that. So this is not that. It's not like 4 hours long. This is much more attainable. Like I don't know if it's probably under 2 hours or something. Anyway, we get the origins of gunfu. It was just a delightful little documentary, a wonderful little surprise while I was scrolling through Netflix looking for something to watch, and it just kind of fell in my lap and like yes.
All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, I watched Igor. As you know, Dragon, I'm about to go see a very special person who might appreciate the fact that I have watched this movie.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna annoy him to death.
I'm not going to be too abrasive about it.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the movie?
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I always knew the animation was... Here's the thing. Stylistically, I think certain elements of this look great. Like, stylistically, I don't think the actual animation, like the actual, physical movements of the characters, that is all a little bit stiff. Some of the textures are a little rough. So, it's not the best-looking animated movie, even if it's styled pretty good. Dragon... I fucking love that not only do we get a James Lipton cameo, James Lipton is basically the catalyst for the whole goddamn plot.
Right? I told you that James Lipton thing was great.
As soon as I realized what was going on with that, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is definitely a me kind of movie. Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, I think the chemistry between Igor and Ava is her name, right?
Eva, it's like for evil.
Right. I think they're kind of adorable, Steve Buscemi is a lot of fun as Scamper. I love that name, by the way.
I figured you would like Scamper.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't love Steve Buscemi? I don't know. The whole thing almost has kind of like a little bit of like an Invader Zim vibe, almost a little bit, Yeah. As far as the humor goes, I liked it. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but I'm glad I saw it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I just love John Cusack in that movie as Igor.
I do really like the world building. I like the fact that like there's all these different Igors all over the world. Like that part is really clever. Yeah.
I mean, it had a good voice cast, and also I gotta tell you, man, I love like the use of Louis Prima and everything. It's just so
dude, that one montage, like towards the middle was just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Go Gios. I think Igor. I'm not going to put up much of a fight. I think it's a little mid. I'm not going to totally argue with you, but I think it was really charming for what it was.
Yeah, it's not shooting for the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of knows it. It's just like, hey,
I feel like this is one of those good, like, yeah, it's a middle of the road kind of like baseline good movie, I
just like the premise of like, what if Igor is actually the brains behind the operation? Like, this is really charming to me, but
Yeah.
Okay, so catch up for me. Last one is Hot Shots Part 2. So this was look, I saw the first Hot Shots recently because of the Charlie Sheen documentary, and I've been always meaning to watch it, and it was like kind of in the Naked Gun kind of renaissance that we've been having lately. It just felt like it was the right time, and because I actually had the Naked Gun crew on it, and I liked the first one. And this one, I was going to get to at some point, but then I sold the dreaded Leaving Soon thing on Netflix. Like, oh, well, and now I got to watch it.
I actually caught Igor today. Today was the last day I could have caught it on Max.
See, I knew you were going to wait till it was too late on that. I knew you were.
I literally told you I was waiting until today.
No, it's just, I know you said that. What I mean is before that, I said, Tiki, you should watch it sooner rather than later. And you scoffed at that, and you see what the danger of doing that is.
But it worked out.
It did. It worked out, but you're lucked out.
All right.
Anyway. It's like, no, I didn't drink the poison, but you held it and you were about to drink it. It was in your glass.
All right.
Anyway, so the point being, I was leaving soon, so there was pressure. So it was like, okay, I'll get it in there. So this really represents like the last of the Zucker era, or like, I guess more so the Abrams, Pat Proft era. But look, not as good or as direct a parody as the original, but it was self-aware of that. We had great sequel jokes about that, like mocking the sequel trope, especially in the love
kind
story.
Of like Wayne's World 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. More like just through gags than it was like an overall story thing. But they were kind of like, so like, yeah, the girl from the first movie seemingly was not in it, but then we actually put her in the movie. And it was like a great call out of that trope.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
we mentioned that it's a sequel.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
Men in Black might be one of the most egregious cases of that, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so he had a few really good jokes in this, but look, at the end of the day, even though we have some good jokes in this, nothing is going to measure up to a joke like the whole. But what are you mad at me for? He ate your father joke from the first one. Still love that joke. Oh my god. Rowan Atkinson, though, he was fun. We bring him in the third act, and it was just this. He was being rescued, and it was just this thing. It's like Charlie Sheen keeps getting like shot and everything. Like the Topper Harley character keeps getting like shot during the rescues and everything, and like Rowan Atkinson's like he's just a little dehydrated. And it's like going like the water fountain. It's just like they're trying to like he's like carrying him like reverse threshold carrying the guy over his shoulders like a fireman carry of sorts. And he's like bending down like it's a little lower, just trying to get like the angle like a little water fountain. It's pretty funny. There are gems in there, jokes. It was good. It just was not. It's kind of like the Naked Gun thing. Naked Gun. They have the Naked Gun sequels. And let's be honest.
Right.
Like, yeah. It's not gonna top the original Naked Gun.
Okay, best and worst.
All right, so I only had best. I really did not have worst this time. I'd be really splitting hairs if I picked worst.
That's fair.
I tried to avoid the best. Okay, so my best easily Frankenstein. There you go.
All right, my best is easily Train Dreams. My worst, easily The Running Man, unfortunately. Although, I don't know. Wait, is it The Running Man or... And also, shit, Dragon, I actually just realized we left off... I think I left off a couple.
A couple?
Hold on. Because I know we at least left off... remember I said I had a Jennifer Lawrence movie?
I mean, you vaguely said there was a Jennifer Lawrence movie. I don't know if she was.
Oh
in the
man,
movie.
I left off a few of them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Die My Love. I left off Die My Love, and then I left off Jake Kelly as well.
Hmm.
Can I talk about them like really quick?
Go on.
Okay. Die My Love is very much kind of like it's Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence. It's very much kind of like a dramatization of like is it postpartum depression, you know, like she gave birth to her kid and she is going off the rails, Dragon, like seriously, like psychologically off the rails, like unhinged. It's a crazy performance from Jennifer Jennifer Lawrence.
Well, I need to break out the chart again.
No. And then Jay Kelly, this might actually be interesting to you because I would actually recommend this one to you. It's George Clooney and Adam Sandler's the co-star.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Dragon, all you need to know is that it's good. Adam Sandler's fantastic. Like, that's all you need to know.
Where
I
do
would
you watch
definitely
it?
recommend watching it. It's
see it in
coming on
theaters?
Netflix soon.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll watch it.
Yeah. So, all right. But I would still say best is Train Dreams, and then worst would definitely be just making sure. Yeah, The Running Man for sure. Easily The Running Man, unfortunately. All right, so I want to thank Teddy, Kogias, Keeper Colby, Claude, and Eli of Little Boo Productions, and Theme Park Priest briefly popping in. You guys are all awesome. It's been another great month here on the channel. And yeah, that'll do it for us. We waxed on long enough, and now it's time to put the pen down. Until next time, we'll return for another chapter in our
Movie Memoirs!